questions are not there, isn't it? I
No,
just speak.
you can just speak. Just give me a minute, this thing, let it stop.
Huh?
Let it stop. Adu stop aatu. That one, that noise.
Well, I came to Singapore in 1953. Well, that is quite a long time. I was born in India, that is in Kerala,
Where in Kerala?
and I was educated there. And after graduating in chemistry, I came to Singapore. I had some friends and some people from my village working here at that time.
Could you tell us the name of your village?
Hmm?
Your village's name?
Pardon?
The name of your village?
Oh, my village is called Vlabbaga, which is very near Varkala, which is better known. And I came here and I got a job as a teacher without much delay. And I remained as a teacher for a long time, more than 30 years, I suppose. And I retired as vice principal of a secondary school. Then what other topic you want me to say? Into Singapore, I very soon got involved with the activities of Singapore Kerala Association. At that time, there were a lot of Malayalis who were very actively working in the Kerala Association. And I joined them. I was in the committee for some time. I acted as the cultural secretary of the association for some time. And at that time, Singapore became independent, and under the culture minister, Mr. Rajaratnam, there were a lot of stage shows organized all over Singapore. And the Kerala Association also took part in it. And we organized a number of multicultural shows at that time. And after that, I went over to another association, the Sri Narayana Mission, which was doing very good welfare work at that time. And at that time, there was no old age home. I joined them before that. And I was a president of the association for over 17 years at different times. And those days, every year there will be an AGM and an election. And so I was re-elected, and I remained there for about 17 years. And to the latter part, this old age home came in, and it is being run very, very successfully. And it is one of the largest welfare home in Singapore now, well recognized by the people and the authorities. And during my time, the building was extended, the fourth story was constructed, and also we started another home, which is called a Merandi home, which is not an old age home, but it is meant for people with mental problems. And there also you have quite a number of people residing there, I think about 150 or so. I don't have the exact figures now. And I retired from education service in 1900, I think.
1900.
No, 1990. Sorry, 1990. So,
Okay. I read in your article that the Narayana Mission also was involved in theatre, Malayalam theatre they used to support. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe
yes.
the Kerala Association, the Sembawang Naval Base
Okay, the
theatre?
Kerala Association was involved with staging dramas. That was one field of activity.
Okay.
But I think I have read somewhere the first Malayalam drama was produced in Singapore in 1924, I think, if I remember correctly, in Naval Base. And after that, there were associations in Naval Base which concentrated mostly on stage dramas, and also there is one association which is worth mentioning, the Singapore Kairali Kala Nilayam. They were actually their top priority was staging dramas, and I think they have staged more than 200 over Malayalam dramas, and they have even gone over to the other side, to Kuala Lumpur and other places to stage their dramas. And as I mentioned before, Kerala Association also did it, but that was not their top priority. And even now it is not their top priority, but they were involved, they have produced some of the good shows. And
Were these plays written by Malayalis in Singapore, or were they staging plays that were written in India?
pardon?
The plays they were staging, did some of them author the plays, some Singaporean Malayalis? Were they written here, or were they staging
No,
plays
most
that
of them were plays were written in in Kerala, staged there and became very popular. And most of the well-known stage shows in Kerala, in Singapore also we did the same show, because it was already established they are good shows, so we took those. And even Srinarayana Mission has staged quite a number of shows, but not up to the level of the other association I mentioned, that is
Kairali.
Kala Nilayam. And there were a lot of other associations also which are not active now. Even Kala Nilayam is, I think, they are deregistered, they are no more. And most of the other associations, there was mass production and quite a number of associations. Now, one strange thing is, those days there were Malayali associations in different parts of Singapore. This, not only the Kerala Association, which was for all the Malayalis, but in, say, RAF Sletha, they have another association. In Naval Bay, they have another association. Even now, they have now the Naval Base Kerala Library. They also have produced a number of shows. And even other parts, in even Alexandra and all those places. And they all used to do stage shows. And but most of them are now deregistered or not in existence. Now, at one time there were more than 11 Malayali associations actively working in Singapore. But now I think there are only Kerala Association, Srinarayana Mission, and
Naval Base Library is still there.
and the Malayali Hindu Samajam, but they were never active on the cultural side, and very few. and I happen to be involved with some of these associations, and I have seen most of the Malayalam dramas.
Can you name some of them for us?
Hmm?
Can you name some of them for us? The most
Yes,
popular.
I can name some of them, like Karavatta Pashu, and Idu Bhumiyana, that is, this is Mother Earth, and Pudiya Agasham, Pudiya Bhumi, that is the new skies and the new land, which was a very popular drama in Kerala. And almost all Chaviti Kuracha Manna, all these dramas were successfully staged in Kerala first, and hearing about that, well, here association took the. Also, there were a few dramas which were actually, the script was written by people living here at that time. Especially, I can remember about on Pucha Sannyasi, that was written by M.K. Menon, or
Vilasini.
later known as Vilasini, who went back to India and received a number of awards, national award and state award for his novels. He has written 2 plays here, and both were staged by the Kalanilaya. And then there was another friend of mine, Mr. Kattel. He
Kattel, is it?
Kattel,
Kat-
Kattel. Kattel, it is his home name, I think, or the village from where he came, I don't know. He has written, I think, Manasachi and another one, I forgot the name, and both were also staged by Kalanilaya, successfully staged. And so, even though few, some of the plays were written by local Malayalis and staged by them. And there were a lot of dramas during the early days, because there were a lot of Malayalis who knew Malayalam very well at that time. But after the British pulled out, quite a number of them who were working in the naval base,
Went
they
back.
went to England, settled down in England. Quite a lot went. And few went back to India. That's not many. I think most of them went to England and settled there. And so there were shortage of people who can do the stage dramas. And later, also at that time there was problem of getting ladies to come in and act. But later it was solved. I think there was no problem later.
So men would play women roles?
Yes. Beginning, I remember I have seen a lot of Malayalam dramas where men took the role of women.
Were there any actors who were very prominently known? Can you name some of them for us?
Yes, some of them are still around, but they are no more active on the stage. That Mr. P. Menon and K.J. Nair, all these were very active on the stage one time. And later that problem was solved, and quite a lot of ladies came forward. And now they can't even think of a man acting as a woman on the stage. Only thing is the number of productions have gone down. Once we even had a what you call drama festival.
Around which year was this?
And
60s or
quite a
70s?
number of dramas were like a competition,
Okay.
in the festival. different organizations will come together and put up their own shows.
Was this in the 60s or 70s or later?
It was in the early, I think the end of 50s or the early part of 1960. I remember one festival taking place in the old Anglo-Chinese school in Barker Road. And also later one was held in Victoria Theatre. And very good response from the people. And all the shows were attended houseful. But now you can think about it, not even one drama is staged during the last 1 or 2 years. I think it is going down.
Okay.
Then what else can...
Okay.
Well, if you want to know about my role as a writer, I started writing while I was a student in secondary school, and some of my poems have been published while I was in school in some of the well-known journals in Kerala. And later when I was at the university, also I used to write quite a lot, especially because some of the periodicals encouraged me to write. They asked me to write for their annual publications or special occasions, and I went on writing quite a lot. But all those things were lost. I don't have copies, and even though they were published by periodicals, I don't have copies. It's all gone. After I came here, when I came to Singapore, I brought all these things. What happened was a friend of mine borrowed the manuscripts, and after that I haven't seen the manuscript or the friend. He disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. I think he went back to India and died.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I have no information. Only thing I remember is I lost my manuscript up to that time. Then when I settled down here, I still used to write, and a number of my poems were published in India, in Kerala. And I got some awards from New Delhi, and some from Bangalore, and some also awards I got from Kerala. The Poets Society of Kerala gave me an award for one of my poems. And then
Did you contribute to journals in Singapore, like maybe Kerala Bandhu?
journals in Singapore, there were only one Malayalam newspaper. One Malayalam newspaper here, and that happened to be the one and only Malayalam daily newspaper outside Kerala. Not even in India there was another Malayalam newspaper. All the Malayalam newspapers come from Kerala. Outside Kerala there are a lot of Malayalis, but no daily newspaper. There were publications, periodicals, or monthly publications or something, no daily newspaper. I think the only daily newspaper outside Kerala was from Singapore. That was started long ago. If I remember correctly, it is started in Batu Pahat as a weekly or a monthly. Later they moved to Singapore, and publisher in Singapore was Mr. K.S. Pillai, and at that time the name was Malaysia Malayali, and later the No, I'm sorry, the name was Kerala Bandhu. And later it became Malaysia Malayali. And I used to write a column for them in Sunday edition. And surprisingly, my column went on for about 30 years until it stopped. And towards the end, the editor, Mr. Abdullah, was not physically well, and he couldn't carry on. Then he actually persuaded me to take over as editor. So officially, I was the chief editor of the Malayalam daily newspaper for some time. Then it died a natural death because the readership was going down and down year by year. And but still we carried on, and then finally we had to close down. I used to write for Malaysia Malayali, and also we had publications here, annual publications of all these associations, Kerala Association, Sri Narayana Mission, and Kalanilayam. Well, I used to write for all these things. And I was, recently I was looking up, I found I have written about more than 10 or 12 poems for the Sri Narayana Mission annual publication, different times. And the Kerala Association also, and this Kalanilayam, they used to have annual publication, and later they stopped. And